Hello, everyone. So, today I wanted to go through the various amounts of software I use to make a game. Okay. Um. So, first off, we're gonna start with music. I'm gonna be honest. This is not the best music player, music maker. Sorry. It does okay. I mean, it's mostly meant for I think personally, and this could just be me. I mean, it could do like some pretty incredible things, but personally, I think it's best for just simple um music projects, 16-bit, 18. I mean, like 8-bit music, for like video game stuff, right? So like, it does that kind of stuff. There's a bunch of different ones, but it does good music. Don't get me wrong, it does. But I personally, in my opinion, think that this is not the best software to use. Uh, Now, there's free software that I even think does better than this. For example, just as an example, LMMS Studio, or LMMS, Linux Multimedia Studio. Okay, it does good. It's like Fruity Loops but free, but also not as good as Fruity Loops. So I would say, yeah. But this is what I'm using right now for a project I'm making. Um, because it does the basic stuff that I need to do. All right, there's that one. There's obviously Adobe Photoshop. You guys probably have already seen Adobe Photoshop and whatnot. Photoshop's good. It's great, but for drawing, I mean, it works for drawing, but I just feel like it's missing a lot of key aspects when it comes to drawing. Um, that I wish were there, and especially when it comes to using a tablet for drawing. I feel like it's not the best option. This one's pretty good. I do like this. Is Krita, or I think it's Krita. Yeah. And so far, it is the best free version software I could find for a drawing tablet. I can't find something better. There's Fire Alpaca, but I don't like Fire Alpaca, to be honest. It's just my opinion. I feel like it's too cluttered, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. So pretty much, you could do a new document. This will work right here. Then you could go ahead and grab your drawing tablet and pen, and then just bring it over to the part that you want, and then you just start drawing. This isn't anything professional, obviously. Me just messing around. Come over here and grab this, bring it over, and boom. Okay, obviously that's not gonna work either. There you go. So this is just a generalized idea of some things you could do. You can also just fill in the whole page or whatnot. But yeah, it's just a piece of software that helps you draw a little better. Um, and I think it's really good for what you're getting. I mean, it's free. You're not paying for it at all, so can't really complain. Um, anyway, so I am going to turn this off now. Get out of this. Okay. Then there's Aseprite. So file new. Aseprite is actually a pixel art application. Um, it's good for drawing pixel stuff and making sprites and whatnot. And I believe there's actually a way you could compile sprites just to make it work and whatnot. As far as changing the sprites and whatnot, it's all hand drawn stuff. I recommend looking up some tutorial videos on sprite artwork. A very good person to look up sprite tutorials on, in my opinion, is Mort. That's actually where I got this idea of this piece of software. So just type in Mort onto YouTube and you'll be able to find him. It's Mort. Alright, let's see, and don't save. Alright, and then there's also Spriter Pro. Spriter Pro is, if like, for example, is using Krita, or even the pixel art, technically, you could take that and you could make the artwork. And instead of having to draw the artwork, all one at a time, different sprites, for each animation, for each like little sprite sheet part of it. What you could do here is that you just animate the artwork you have by cutting the artwork into parts. So, example, the head would be a separate part, the hand, the legs, the forearm, feet, uh, torso, everything's separated, and then it connects using a bone system. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys this later eventually. But the bone system will then allow you to make the animation a lot more easier, and because you're able to do that, it will make just make it I'll make the sprite process a lot easier. So like if you needed a sword slash animation, guess what? You could do it just by making the swing or whatnot. Truth is, it probably will look better if you do it in frame by frame for the sword slash at least. But like for walking animations, jumping animations, flipping animations, I feel like all that is fine to be done in a Spriter. Alright, so moving on. Now this is DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is actually quite an expensive program, but they have a free version. And in the free version, like honestly, it's really good. They don't lock anything off except for some color correcting effects and whatnot. But for the most part, everything that's in the actual version is in this. Like you could go ahead and you could render it. There's no watermark. There's nothing like that. It's remarkable, and it doesn't cost you any money. They don't ask for a credit card up front. It's a really good. So I'm just gonna put no, not create. Cancel. Open. All right. So this is just to show you it. So it looks a lot like Adobe Premiere in some ways, mostly because color gradient, and also things you could do here. You got effects library for like your audio transitions, video transitions, titles, generators. Okay, so like all these things, by the way, I believe you can actually go online and find other effects to add to this. There's like free effects plugins for people who want to do this kind of stuff for free, without having to pay a ridiculous amount of money. Let's see here. Pretty much this is this. There's obviously a bunch more options. There's the audio, for music. There's the color correcting part of this, which is really nice. They still put color correcting, but I believe part of it is locked off. I'm not sure, but I believe it is. And then there's obviously the file manager, and I believe this is the export page. So you could go ahead and export it in audio only protocols, AVID, AFF, Premiere XML, Final Cut Pro 7, Vimeo, and YouTube. You could export it directly to YouTube for 1080p, 720p. None of this is locked off. I could click that, you see, and boom, it's ready to go. 720p, ready to go. You can also do custom formats and whatnot too. Yeah, really good software for it being free. It's pretty freaking amazing. This is the public beta, but still really amazing. Alright, then there's obviously OBS. Sorry. Gonna go ahead and actually cancel that, and I'm gonna open it here. Alright, so sorry about this part right here, but OBS is a piece of software which I'm using currently while recording this to go ahead and capture things on screen, or you could live stream. You could put your camera up here if you want to. I'm not, because I don't see the purpose of doing that for this kind of video. And on top of that, you guys want to see the whole screen. You don't want to just see me in the way of something you want to see behind me. So, there's a studio mode, which allows you to have like a transition from one to the other. So if you set something up over here, but you don't want it to show yet, you can do that. At least I believe you can. I haven't figured that out yet. So that's OBS. And then there's GameMaker and GameMaker Studio 2. So GameMaker Studio and GameMaker Studio 2, they're both obviously video game engines. Usually they're used for 2D video game making, which, by the way, they've already created probably some of the best indie games developed this software right here. For example, Hyperlight Drifter, Hotline Miami. I already know I'm forgetting some. Uh, I mean, there's more. I just can't think of it, to be honest. And even some of the games that are out currently that weren't developed in it can still be developed in GameMaker. I don't know what engine, for example, Super Meat Boy was made in, or Binding of Isaac, but both of those can be very easily made in GameMaker, just as well as the other engine it may have been made in. For all I know, it wasn't made in this engine, but I know for sure that it was definitely made with the same kind of like aspects, pretty much. Because anything that was in that game, you could pretty much do in here, no problem. Then there's the video game client. I mean, the Game Jolt client. So I go on here to go ahead and if it'll start. I go on here to talk to other developers, find out new game jams coming up. For example, tonight there's a game jam that starts at 10 o'clock in my area that is on Game Jolt. It's for the Summer Slow Jams. I was thinking about not doing it at first, but then I told my friends, and they're like, hell yeah, let's do it. And they seemed excited to do it. I'm excited to do it. And honestly, I've never actually completed a game completely. Oh, that was a pretty cool intro. I haven't really ever completed a game completely before, so this is kind of a new kind of a fun twist, I guess. I'm gonna go to it very quick. Let's see here. I believe. Okay, browse. But pretty much this game jam is starting today at what is 7 p.m. actually. Is that Pacific time? Or is that actually my time? Well, I'll be on at 7 p.m. I guess, just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure my time it was 10. Maybe it's not though. So, 4 hours. Holy crap! Yeah, that is 7. Okay, so yeah, at 7 today, I'm gonna be on here making a game. So, in these rules, it's actually you could they want performance is what they're going for this one, for the not for the theme, but for the I guess what the game has to have as far as mechanic wise, right? So they give some ideas of how and what you're supposed to do and whatnot. And then obviously, if you don't want to do that, you can actually just make focusing on comedy. Like if you're not interested in performance, make a game focusing on comedy, like the Beginner's Guide and the Jackbox Party Pack, or perhaps a game with voice acting. So like, that's kind of cool that they give a second option, because to be honest, I want to make a game of performance, which we are going to be making a game of performance, said me and all of Nag Studios. But I'm not 100% sure if I'm wanting to do it as far as performance. I still will do it, obviously, but I just feel like a comedy game would be so much more easier to make than a performance game, especially since we only have a week to do so. So some game jams are a lot shorter. I'm happy it's a week because I'm not that prepared yet. But anyway, wish me luck on this week's game jam, the Summer Slow Jams. Hopefully, we'll have an actual working game by the end of the week. We're gonna have to get all situated and figure out who's doing what. But yeah. Okay, guys. This has been fun, and I'm happy you guys were able to see some of these softwares that in which I'll be using in this game jam and future videos and whatnot. So, stay awesome, guys. Peace.